What I really loved about your film is what you elect to put in focus and out of
Mm,
focus. This is
mhm.
clear from the onset with the blurring of characters outside of Dakota Fanning's character and how you
Yeah.
shoot from a distance as if someone is being watched. And
Mhm.
this carries across until more elements need to be put on the front burner. I'm curious
Yeah.
about the process and the thrill of it as a storyteller to extend your narrative's themes to the visual language like that, whether it's camera framing, lighting, placement of things within the frame, as well as the sonic language.
I mean, that I think is the candy as a filmmaker is understanding how you can kind of elicit those like emotions underlying and set a tone of the movie that makes you uneasy from start to finish. So yeah, exactly what you were saying, kind of like in that first act, I think it was really exciting for me to think about how this character sort of perceives the world and feels very uncomfortable in it, that she feels very much judged and sort of discomfort being around people. And the only kind of moment that she feels okay again is when she's alone. And it was very much just drawing from my emotions and sort of how the world feels to me like that, which is kind of obscuring things and feeling yourself in the context of other people. So it was really exciting to kind of think about those things. The whole movie was boarded, and we kind of spent a lot of time talking about what the shot making should be like and watching things, and yeah, so that every kind of frame could be intentional.
What is the art of reveals when it comes to
Mm.
like what you choose to, keep the audience in the dark about, and then those things that maybe don't actually get, resolved or anything, like it's just hung out there for us to kind of, kick around in our minds going forward. So I'm just curious about when you choose the proper moment to
Mm.
have that reveal, as well as like what you choose to dangle out there, and maybe the things that you don't exactly have a 100% of a grasp on.
I mean, I think for me, it was a lot of trial and error in both the writing and the editing processes. So sort of like laying out the sort of sequences and playing around with where those sat and how much you give away in each of them. It was also a piece of the book that I thought was done so elegantly, where he basically kind of leads you to different little pieces of information as you're going along, and in aggregate, you then understand what world you're playing in. But so it was very much kind of trying things out and watching them with fresh eyes and
Mhm.
seeing how much the movie could hold.
Yeah. One
Yeah.
line that I really took to is when one character is speaking about another and they say they have this theory that what you're seeing could drive a person mad. So it's
Hmm.
to see everyone try to normalize this extreme situation by abiding by these set of rules. But
Yeah.
being a cinematic storyteller, how do you keep from driving yourself mad, and how do you relate to this film's idea about following rules and breaking them, and when it comes to
Hmm.
filmmaking, like cutting your own path?
Yeah, that's such a cool question. I mean, I think it can be, yeah, a very maddening process for sure. And it was really like the length of it that sort of forced me to kind of find rationality in all of it. And when my brain was going somewhere crazy or is starting to feel somewhere crazy, to kind of come back to those things that ground me, which are like, yeah, family and friends and sleep and those things. So it very much was a process like that for me of I think you have to take yourself to kind of crazy places sometimes, but then have the kind of wherewithal to put those in with precision. But yeah, it was very much I think a process for me of learning when to be completely controlling and precise and have like a mathematical approach to things, and when to allow myself to be completely washed over by the process. And that flow was very much enjoyable to me, of like having to surrender at moments and then regain control and just being open to both states of being.
Yeah, I know we're just about out of time, so real
Mm.
quickly, I love this theme of creation.
Hmm.
How do you did this film cause you to, or like disrupt your thinking when it comes to being a creator, like the power you hold in being a creator?
I think so. I think for me, one of the greatest lessons through the process was just that I think as an artist you have so much ego in the experience. It very much is like about you at the beginning, and it's like some you want people to understand who you are and what you're dealing with, and
Right.
to hear you. And it was really only when I kind of stopped thinking about myself and realized like it's not about me at all. It's really I'm just sort of a medium for this thing to be born, that I could create the best art. So it was very much like that of learning how to sort of take myself out of the process and let the art itself guide me.